some of the players that are underdogs in these matches, you can't always cheer for the winner, can you?
Yeah, it's not bad that we hear it. I want to see them see their fans supporting them here too. Use that HPL hashtag. Let them know that you're behind them for these matches. It helps a lot.
Yeah, and to tell you what's going to help a lot too is picking up a win here in game number 1, which is getting underway right now with Ek0p versus Neirea. Both of these guys need an early advantage in this match because their games have been tending to go a little bit longer than usual.
Yeah, and I fully expect that at least one of them is going to change that up quite a bit here in this match.
Yeah, look like Ek0p's going to be getting in here with everyone. And we're going to be seeing Neirea's hand as quickly as we can. Spectator client loves to toy with us a little bit.
Yeah, this is something we've been seeing out of Ek0p a little bit more. In his last match, he played Grim Patron quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it's actually one of the spots he needs to be in too. It looks to me, if you also look at his matches, that he's been very concerned with being targeted, and I think that's something he needs to clear his head about because, frankly, the better strategies are better strategies for a reason.
Yeah, just play powerful strategies. Don't worry about what someone else is doing.
Yeah, get a feel for it as the match sort of rolls out. Unless you're exceptional at those kind of reads. We see guys like Purple, he's great at those reads. We see guys like RDU. I think RDU is very good at those reads. A guy like Ek0p, his strength, I think, is abusing powerful strategies.
Now, I like seeing Paladin out of Neirea here. It's kind of like something you said. You don't want to see him stop playing control, but you want to see a control deck that can turn up the heat when it needs to, and this Paladin deck can do that.
Yeah, I think this is actually a very brilliant choice from him. Now, the one risk he does run is that Warsong Commander Grim Patron is a nightmare combo against this deck. So what I think he's looking for in this match is to kind of get set up, look for a big Quartermaster turn or look for a big Dr. Boom turn and try to end the game from there.
Yeah, when you play cards like Muster for Battle and Consecration, they don't match up very well against Grim Patron.
Yeah, the big story here is that if Ek0p sets up a big board like that, Neirea does have clearing options. He's already got Equality in his hand. He's already got Consecration in his hand. There's a possibility for stuff like Wild Pyromancer in here. He's got a lot of tools that can keep the board under control because Ek0p's going to have to fight the minion pressure. Yeah,
you're going to see Neirea hold on to these for a good bit in the game. He's not going to be too excited about having to play it early. He's going to want to wait till that perfect moment to be able to Equality and Consecration.
Yeah, these are not tempo-oriented plays that he's looking for with Equality and Consecrate. He's looking to take a massive advantage in terms of the cards.
Yeah, you're looking for gigantic swing turns, and here we go. See a Muster for Battle against an Armor Smith. He's going to eventually have to whittle this guy down.
Yeah, it does, but Ek0p's got a great answer for this. I mean, Unstable Gold does wonders against cards like Muster for Battle.
Yeah, it's so disheartening when you're playing a deck with cards like Muster for Battle in it and you go up against Grim Patron Warrior because they have Unstable Gold, they have Whirlwind, as you see here, they have Death Spite. It just feels like this deck is built to beat you.
No. A deck with a bunch of Whirlwind effects is not built to beat decks that make a lot of 1/1s.
I mean, it's even bad for you. Like, look at your hero power. It just makes a 1/1.
Yeah, I mean, eventually those 1/1s can overrun things, but just look at what's happening here. Neirea eventually wants to try to take control of this board. Ek0p's got a lot of effects that can deal with this, but he's got to be able to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's what Neirea's going to be doing in this matchup. He's just going to be grinding him down and try to run him out of resources and win from there. You're going to see all the big turns happen from Ek0p. If Neirea has one, it's going to be in response to something.
Yeah, this is a really interesting turn here because the turn 5 play from Paladin is pretty critical to how Ek0p actually plays the rest of his games. Obviously he would love to get a Grim Patron down and start turning tokens out, but he's got to worry about cards like Sludge Belcher on turn 5. That can actually drastically affect the board here. So this is a spot where I think I'd like to see him use Fiery War Axe, but he's going to be content with just getting more armor.
Yeah, not having Death Spite on turn 4, good for the non-Grim Patron Warrior here. That's when their deck really turns. It's a great draw here for Neirea.
Yeah, pretty much the best non-Sludge Belcher draw in his deck, I would say. But Ek0p, hiding the Fiery War Axe pays off a little bit here. Maybe Neirea wouldn't have played this Pilot Shredder in the face of this. I think he would have anyway, just to try to get some board presence out. But, wow, what a drop.
Yeah, I mean, he plays that card in his deck anyway. It's just good. But that's one of the best 2-drops that could just come out of a Piloted Shredder, and it's going to be great on this board.
I mean, what more could you possibly ask for out of a Piloted Shredder?
2 shielded mini bites?
2 shielded mini.
I'm greedy.
Ek0p, I feel like he's frustrated with this and trying to figure out a way to advance past this, but this is just the power of Piloted Shredder.
Yeah, we've seen some amazing cards come out of Piloted Shredder over the season here so far in HPL. Some very good for the player of Piloted Shredder, some very bad. We've seen some bad Doomsayers. We saw the Unstable Ghoul and the recap. We've just seen some game-breaking effects out of it.
The double Doomsayer night for me was still one of my favorites, just back-to-back. 5/5 I think is just good enough here. This is going to force Ek0p to take some sort of action against it. He can't just leave a Sylvanas on the board.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for Grim Patron to deal with this very cleanly. They usually have to give you more than one card. You know, they have to damage it in some way and then execute it, or use something in conjunction with a weapon, and you still get some damage in. Love that he just plays it out here.
It does have some time to deal with it. You know, it is sitting at 37, potentially 39 with armor up. So, you know, taking a couple hits here and there isn't going to be the end of the world. But the fact that he may not answer this so cleanly is going to give Neirea sort of the go-ahead to really start turning up the heat.
Now, if you were Ek0p in this match and you're playing against Neirea, which Neirea do you prepare for? Do you prepare for the one we've been seeing lately, or do you prepare for what he's done in, like, through his entire career?
You know, that's really the tough part about it. You know, when you're looking at the way Ek0p's queued up, he just queued up a very powerful strategy and looking to move forward from there. I think that's a nod to the way Neirea is going to be. You don't know exactly how he's going to play, so you have to start out with something that you feel's just got a great win rate, and then make your adjustments from there. Yeah,
love this deck choice from him. He's been playing it a lot lately. Ooh, Harrison Jones picked up here.
Yeah, not a bad one, but, you know, Dr. Boom is just, this is the trump card on this board.
Yeah, Harrison Jones picked up here. It's kind of good because it's a big deal, because if Deathbite does show up and you can take away their death rattle from them, you make it act, and as it shows up here, if you could take that away from them and they don't get it when they want it, it's a huge thing in these matchups.
Now, the one thing Ek0p does have going for him is that his patience is going to pay off a lot here. A Whirlwind, use Fiery War Axe, and Execute turn is going to take a lot of heat off of Neirea's board. He's going to take some damage in the process, but he's been working on building his armor the whole game.
Yeah, he has a very clean clear here if he wants it. He can Whirlwind, use the Fiery War Axe on the Sylvanas, and then use the Execute on the Dr. Boom. Board clear.
What more can you ask for? Pretty darn tough to ask for more than that. He even gets to set up his Deathbite if he wants. Now, however, if he sets up this Deathbite, he does pay a price for it.
Yeah, he's going to pay a big-time price right here. Is there any warrant to just actually playing the Grim Patron before any of this happened?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, he's got the Sylvanas out, so he has to worry about that first, of course. So, you know, also the other thing, too, is that given the way Ek0p's played this game, I do expect him to Armor Smith and armor up here. He's obviously been very concerned with his armor total the entire game. But, yeah, I don't think Grim Patron's better here, and it's simply because of the Sylvanas that's on board.
Yeah, and you can see Neirea make a really aggressive play here, just Quartermaster making a 3-3 off his hero power.
This is really a spot now where Ek0p can start to take control of it. This was a relatively slow turn from Neirea. Does get 5 power out, does get 8 health out, but this isn't a high-profile threat.
Yeah, you're just happy to not see Tyrion.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Tyrion in this spot is the nightmare right now. He's already you know, been struggling to kill everything that's on board, had to invest a lot of resources to getting to this point, and talk about good pickups.
Yeah, the Emperor Thorson draw, what a draw here. Every time I play against this Paladin deck, I always feel all the cards, I'm like, yeah, that's cute, that's nice, nothing's ever amazing and stuff like that. And then they play Tyrion, I'm like, oh yeah, that card's good.
Yeah, well, Deathbite's pretty darn good too here, but this is the spot that Neirea was looking for, was to get this Deathbite on Ek0p's side of the board so he could utilize his Harrison Jones.
Yeah, and now this Emperor Thorson, not a bad draw from Ek0p here if this game continues on from here. Again, his hand not great to be utilizing this card. It's just going to be mostly a 5-5 here.
Yeah, the big difference is that, you know, all the armor that he's been investing into has actually been paying off quite a bit for him. He'd be much lower had he chose to forego some of this and focus on development instead. And the second Quartermaster picked up from Neirea. He's got no shortage of pressure in this match.
He's got 2 Quartermasters in his deck. That's an interesting one. Now, if you're Neirea, how do you go forward from here? Do you just make some Grim Patrons and sit behind an unstable goal and just hope it's good enough?
I mean, Ek0p's got to do something to get on board, but he's had a card draw at this point, so I don't really know exactly what he wants to do in this spot, and I don't really know exactly what's best. I mean, he hasn't seen Equality, he hasn't seen Consecrate. Your opponent's got 9, 11 damage sitting on board from 3 different sources. Everything's in check right now.
Yeah, I like this play from Ek0p. He's going to get Emperor Thorson into play. Doesn't need the mana boost from it. You know, it's nice and everything, but it gets something in play that Neirea is going to have to, you know, he can't let that sit around. No player likes to let Emperor Thorson sit around, so he's going to hope that Neirea interacts with this.
Yeah, I don't think there's much surprise to see Neirea interact with it as well. I mean, again, he's just favored killing minions over and over again, but the Harrison Jones goes to the dome first. So if he's going to kill it, he's looking at using True Silver Champion and his Quartermaster to do it. And he's got more than enough life to pay right now. You know, Ek0p's, again, very low on cards at this point, so what is he fearing?
Yeah, he's not fearing anything, and he has this antique heal bot and this shielded mini bot to kind of apply pressure, get some life total back. And these are high-power minions that are coming in. You know, he does put a 1-1 on the board, so if something like Warsong Commander happens, Ek0p can make a lot of Grim Patrons from here, but he doesn't have that.
Yeah, and he's everything he has is in check too. The Equality really putting a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, the Equality concentration in his hand like has him set up to take care of anything that Ek0p has going forward. Ek0p's going to go for the Grim Patron turn just turn with an unstable Ghoul. Probably, he might even inner rage here. Yeah, he's going to inner rage and hopefully he can sit behind this, but Neirea has the perfect answer that he's had since turn 1.
Well, you can say perfect answer, but you know, something he's got to consider is he loses his entire board when he uses equality here too. So, you know, a give and take sort of thing.
Well, he can attack the unstable Ghoul first, right?
Well, I think he should just Iron Beak Outlet, honestly. He comes down to 1 card. You know, you don't typically fear stuff like Sylvanas from this deck. He doesn't have stuff like piloted Sky Golem or any high-profile threats that need to be silenced. Like, this is the one you silence.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's not actually, you know, a better target in these decks ever. You know, sometimes they might have a Grom late, but I mean, do you even really want to hold on an Iron Beak Outlet for a Grom, you know?
Yeah, he's not going to hold on to it either. There's just no reason to. He's just got so much pressure on the board right now. He can just silence this and beat up these 2 Grim Patrons and then push.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even need the Consecration and Equality this turn. He could just use what he has on the board to take care of here and just really put Ek0p in a world of hurt. I don't even know if he can get out of this.
I mean, what can you draw to get out of it at this point? He needs something. He needs nothing short of a miracle in this spot, and Inner Rage is not enough. He's facing down 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17. 17 damage is he facing down?
Well, if he had like Warsong Commander this turn, he can make a couple more Grim Patrons, but it wouldn't be enough because you see the
that's
Consecration
lethal from Neirea. He's got more than enough on board. Did such an excellent job controlling this game, and frankly, a pretty fantastic pick. You know, Ek0p lacking a lot of the card draw in the early game. This is something we've seen a lot from Grim Patron Warrior. When they don't start drawing a lot of cards early, they fall behind.
Yeah, they need stuff like Acolyte of Pain, Battle Rage, those kind of things. They need it to happen early. You need them to churn through their deck, find all of their combo pieces. If they get too much of one end or not enough of the other, they have a really hard time finishing a game off.